What's up, everybody? Tea with Rami here. My name is Mershad and your host, Rami. This is another episode coming to you from Austin, Texas. This is a podcast that everyone has a story, including us. And we're going to make sure you learn something from these stories. If you like this episode, please consider commenting, sharing, and ultimately subscribing to this awesome channel. Rami, what's cooking today?
A lot of stuff, but thank you so much. That was great. That was a great introduction. I really like that.
No scripts, man. Just
No
go right into
right
it.
off the bat.
That's right.
I loved it. I love it. I hope you're all doing well. And a lot of stuff happening. But what would you like to talk about?
You know, as we're talking, a little bit off topic on camera, and we decided to talk fear and emotions of fear.
That's the big one.
You were telling me a story, remember, about that young soldier getting his leg cut off?
Oh, yeah. I have a lot of stories like that. But fear is a big component of our lives.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, it keeps us in place.
Yeah, fear can be a motivator, or fear can stop you to achieve your goals, and fear can kill you. And sometimes our emotions attach to it and make that fear much stronger.
Yeah.
And that eventually would destroy you. I tell you a story. 1986. 1986. That's a long time ago, man.
86,
I'm old.
96, 2006, 16, almost freaking 34 years ago, man.
I know. 1986. I never forget. It was a year. I served in the Iran-Iraq War, and I was serving in the first line, and it was cold. It was winter, and snow was everywhere, like up to your knee, man. And we were in the mountain. We were stationed in the mountain, top of the hill, and I walk into the foxhole, and you know what's foxhole?
Oh, Sangar. Okay.
Yeah, we say it in Farsi, but
Okay.
foxhole is Sangar.
You didn't go actually inside of the hole of a fox.
No, we would call it foxhole. Here they call it foxhole too.
Got you.
And basically, four of us, we were 12 in the squad, and the four, it was a three foxhole, and the four and four and four. And I walk into I was a sergeant. I was a squad leader. And then I walk into one of the foxhole, and I saw one of my soldiers reading a letter. And usually, we would receive a letter every 2-3 weeks. They would deliver it to us, and
From family and friends?
from the family, from friends, from a wife, from mother, from father, from husband, and
Husband? Were the girls over there?
No, I'm sorry, no husband. You're right. You're right. That was a good one. We got used to the U.S. Army because the females serve,
Right.
And then I just said, okay, husbands, but no, females don't serve in Persian army, in Iranian army. But he was reading the letter, and 2 nights later he died. What I'm saying that when I walk into that foxhole, cold winter, and he was sitting in the corner and was reading that letter, and I saw his tears is falling down.
This is before you guys sleep, go to bed?
Yeah, because I was going to check everybody, make sure everybody's okay, and say hi. You guys are doing okay, everything else. And then when we had a mission or operation, we would all get together and talk about the plans and everything else, And that guy died 2 days later. And why he died, I'm going to tell you why. Because sometimes our emotion takes over our judgment. Our emotion kicks in that fear.
So he was getting emotional.
He was getting emotional because the letter from his mother, and when you read that, you get so emotional because the way they write, the way they communicate to you that letter. You're middle of the nowhere, cold night, the snow is everywhere, and then now you receive this letter and you read it and say, "Oh my God, what the heck am I doing here? If I die, what's gonna happen?" And you the fear kind of gets you and make you weak, like. And that's what, you scare. When you're scared, things happens. You can't really fight.
You get locked.
You get locked. And your emotion is adding to that situation. And here you go, you're a mess. How are you going to go to an operation? Imagine when you have a fear, you're going to go to a big, important business meeting in a boardroom. If you have a lot of fear, and it's not easy.
In this case, this poor guy was going to a war.
Exactly, and you are in the war. You know you're gonna die, and you know the bullet is coming toward you, and how you gonna do that? But after that incident, I forbid reading letters.
Wait, how did he die?
He died like
just straight gunshot, like bomb, or
no? He died.
Did he make a mistake?
Yeah, he died based on the RPG.
Oh, they shot an RPG.
Yeah, and then he wasn't, careful. But the whole thing is that I forbid all that people to open their letters while they are on duty or beyond any operation, or 2 weeks. Like every 2-3 weeks, they were allowed to read it, and then it was a gap between that to any mission or operation.
So that they can process their
emotion. They can process it. But, I was personally, my mom was sending me a lot of letters. I never forget, I was reading all my letters, like 5, 6, 10 of them in the bus while I was going back home. I was opening one by one, and I'm reading them while, 10 hours in the bus. That I told my mom, "Hey, I read that. Yeah, your letter." I didn't want to mess up my head. Because I was a squad leader, I was responsible for those people.
You had to focus on.
I had to focus, and then that was a.
So did they? Sorry to ask, well, interrupt, but do they replace that soldier to your squad? Like you get another soldier that comes and joins, or you're a man short now?
No, they usually send you another one, right at an academy or training and everything else, because we were a special squad. And then they sent us another one, and then I had to set some boundaries and rules and all that stuff, because to protect them, as going back to your question, yes, fear can make you or can break you.
Yeah. Do you have, let me ask you this might get a little personal. What kind of fears do you have right now?
Me? Fear, I have a fear of if I leave my mans behind, what's going to happen? Like, not physically in the war, I served, I'm out, but with my company, because I always look at my people and the company as my troops, as my squad. And I would never, ever leave a man behind. I never left a man behind. I would never do that. And my fear is always like this. If I let him down, what's gonna happen?
I saw you walking in today, right before this. You're like, Wesley's one of our guys over here. What do you need? What's going on? I can see that came from you thinking that he's gonna be behind.
Yeah, that's what my job is, to grab him by the collar and take him to the safe zone from the hostile area, or make sure they are safe, because I'm responsible for them. A lot of companies, they say that, "Oh, we're not responsible, you come to work and go." No. I have that mentality that is my responsibility. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is how I operate. And I have so many stories like that to tell you, that fear really can kill you.
Yeah.
Like when I came here, I tell you another story. When I came to United States, I had a fear of acceptance. Like I was afraid that if these people, they're gonna accept me or not. And that reason was not talking to people.
That's actually a very like a fear that is embedded in our genetics as
It's
human
true.
beings. Because, I mean, I don't know if you believe in the evolution or not, but
Do you believe that?
I do. I don't want to get into that, but I mean, there's actually a new documentary on Netflix called Chimp Empire. You watched that?
No.
It's the life stories of chimpanzees.
Really?
And they live tribe by tribe.
Is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. It took them 40 years to get to this point.
No way.
Scientists got there like in the 80s, started studying and like really go deep into these chimpanzees' life for years. Wow. And now when you watch the documentary, they have names for them. They know how old they are. They know their behaviors. Each one of them have their own personalities. And it's
They followed the whole process, the whole generation?
Oh yeah, they followed the whole generation, and that's how it came up with their story. And the crazy thing is how their story is so close to us. Like literally
As a human being.
As a human being.
I believe that we are a tribe. Do you believe that?
Oh, yeah,
As
absolutely.
a human, we are a tribe. And when we get separated from the tribe, that fear kicks in because we don't belong to a tribe.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in any business, any business is like that. If you don't feel you belong to that tribe or
Yeah.
environment, you feel isolated. You feel that you don't worth anything. You feel that you don't exist.
Yeah.
And then that's going to
being-
affect your performance.
Yeah.
You said, who am I? Who cares about me?
It's a deep fear of abandonment.
Abandonment.
If you look around all the conflicts in the world today, racism, war in Israel and Palestine. If you think about it deeply, well, yeah, they say it's a religion, but what do they represent? They're part of a tribe. What makes these guys different? They're part of this tribe, and these guys are part of this tribe. And because this tribe is different than this tribe, this is what's happening.
That's why they are saying if you feel lost, that means you are not part of a tribe. Like any tribe, any community. Let's call it a community.
Community, right.
Like
I mean, that's the right
today's,
word.
they call it community. Old days, they call it a tribe.
Tribe, right.
If you're not part of any community, you feel a little bit lost. You know,
A lot lost.
We
You
are
feel
part of
alone,
the
depressed.
Yeah, we are part of the entrepreneurship community. We are entrepreneurs. A lot of people out there are entrepreneurs. We belong to that. But the fear, as you said, I think fear. You might not agree with it, or you as a listener or watching this episode, fear is created by us in our mind. Based on what? Based on if that doesn't work, if I die, if that doesn't work, if she doesn't answer my call, if I get rejected. This all if creates the fear. Fear, I think, to me, as I said again, maybe I'm wrong, fear is an illusion. I think fear is illusion that created by me. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking.
No, it's-
Fear is an illusion because I saw this my own eyes in the war. That if you are afraid, the percentage of you getting shot and die is more. And as I said, I might be wrong, but go and research that. Fear makes you weak.
Yeah.
Fear is something that, if you have a fear of failure, okay, you try, you were afraid, you do it, you fell. And you said, I knew it, I was afraid. I was afraid in the first place, but I did it and I fell. But you didn't fail. You actually tried something, didn't work. And the fear is kind of covering that for you because you're subconscious.
You're right. Like it's the stories you tell yourself.
What you are afraid of, like today, really, like what is your biggest fear? Are you afraid of dying?
Not that one.
Are you serious?
Yeah, not
Why?
necessarily that
Why?
one. I mean, it was through a story. It was processed through me. through a certain belief that, I'm going to die one day.
But God forbid if tomorrow they tell you, hey,
I'm not afraid of my own death, but I'd say I'm afraid of my close people dying. Like that
Why?
gets to me. Huh?
Why?
I guess just love that I have for them.
That's love. Do you believe life after death?
Do I believe in life after death? Do you want to get into that?
No, I'm just telling you because I have seen it. I have seen a death.
Yeah.
And fighting for your life. I have seen it. Right now, if you telling me I go back to the environment 34 something years ago, when I was young, I was a soldier and I was fighting, I might not do it again. But you get to the situation or you put yourself in the situation that death and life become mundane. Like, you say, oh, I don't care. And you get to the point that you go and you know you're gonna die, but you don't think about it.
You just go.
Like, the race car drivers.
Uh-huh.
Do you think they're not gonna die? They're very dangerous. I always say, this guy is an idiot, man. He's going with 200, 180 miles or 200 miles per hour. And if this car flips, they're gonna die, but they know it.
What about the MotoGPs?
The MotoGPs?
That's even more scary.
They're gonna die.
That's even more scary.
They kind of accept that, and they're facing their fear of dying.
That's like a big fear also.
I'm sure you got a story of that. Do you have any story?
I mean,
you were really afraid, but you did it anyway.
Something that I was really afraid. Well, I can tell you. Every human being on daily basis, we're wrestling with our fears
every day.
We might just not recognize it as fears, but self-sabotage, a lot of things that we know we are supposed to do and we're not doing are results of deepest fears that we have. But because those are playing in the terms of stories in our heads, we don't look at them as fears. Let me give you an example. For example, I do 100% agree with you when you say fear is an illusion. For example, I, for the longest time, had a fear of calling my cold prospects. Why? Because the stories that I was telling myself, and these are exact words. I am bothering them. I am taking their time away. They don't want to hear from me, and this is just a wasted call. And I kept telling that story to myself, and even though I knew my business, my life is going to move when I make a decision to make this call to these people, I kept sabotaging. I kept not doing what I was supposed to do because of the stories that I was telling myself. Now, I had to chip away from it like little by little through.
This is how you.
Yeah, it wasn't a fear that I came, overnight. There was mindset training, actions. I basically had to reframe the story in my head that, hey, I am a valuable individual with good information, good intention, and a lot of experience, and just good things in my heart that I want to do for these people. So what did I do? I little by little trained my subconscious mind that if I'm not calling, I'm actually doing a disservice. So when I do call nowadays to my clients, I call with faith that, hey, I'm going to help you out. This is why I'm calling. The story of, oh, I'm bothering them, oh, I'm taking their time away, which was based on fear of abandonment, faded away little by little.
Including fear of rejection.
Including fear of rejection.
Because
that was a big one too.
I tell you a story, and this is very interesting. When I sold my restaurant, Italian restaurant, and I got divorced and kind of basically lost everything. And I was thinking that, okay, what you got? I have experience of operating a restaurant, and I have experience with hospitality, and I believe I can do things, but the fear of acceptance and the fear of rejection kind of got to me, and I stopped doing a lot of stuff that I was capable of doing it. But one day, I never forget, I said, I want to go get some fast food. And I went to, as a fast food company, I don't want to name it, I went to drive-thru. And then I didn't like the way they talked to me through the intercom, through the drive-thru. Like,
Yo, what do you want?
Take your order, yeah, what you want and all that stuff. That's what I'm not naming the, the company. And I said, oh my God, I am good at customer service. All my customers, they love when they came to restaurant. These guys, they need help. And it was a big name.
Corporation.
And then I said, how about I go to 10 of them and start tape recording the conversation? See how many they're gonna pass based on my level of expectation or acceptance. And I went to the first drive-thru, I started recording it. And imagine, I'm paying everything out of my pocket. Like in one day, I had so many burgers and this and that, and I was giving away to the homeless people. Okay. Like I was coming out of the drive-thru, I see the first homeless people, here you go, this is yours. But I went to the first drive-thru, they didn't do a good job. And then the second one, third one, fourth one, fifth, sixth, to the 10. Out of the 10, 2 they did okay. And I said, this guy, they really need help. And I said, here you go, you got a business. But the fear said, okay, I had a plan. I said, I want to go present this case with the tape recording to the headquarters and say, you have a problem, even though you are big, you have a system and process, but it's not working. It's all about people. And I got a tape recorder, and I made an appointment with one of the executives in that corporation. And it was hard to get an appointment, but I got an appointment, and I went in there, and I said, you have a problem. But before going to the room, imagine I'm standing in the hallway waiting for this executive, and then I'm at like an ex-restaurateur, no background of the big consulting or anything, and I'm just gonna go over there, let this guy have it. And I said, what is the worst case scenario? He's gonna say no. Believe it or not, once I went toward the door and I went back. I said, no, forget it, man.
Fuck
no, forget it. Fuck it. He's gonna just kick you out of the room. Who the hell are you? And then I opened the door. Sometimes you gotta put yourself in the situation.
Yeah.
Like you say, as Mel Robbins says, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do the,
Just
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just do it. And then I said 5, 3, 2, 1. In my mind, I said, okay, open the door, go in. And then you are in there. The guy said, hi, how can I help you? You had an appointment. I said, yeah. And I told him, I said, what the heck you doing here, dude? And I said, without any thinking or anything, I said, you have a problem, sir. He said, what are you talking about? I said, you have a drive-through culture problem and training. And he laughed. He said, son, we're the big corporation and we have a lot of training and process. You came all the way down here to tell me that? I said, yes, sir, and I can prove it. He said, how? And I start playing the tape recorder, and I just said, you be the judge. I actually, by the way, I pay off for all the food. And then he listened to it. He was quiet. And my whole conversation with him before playing the tape was like 5 minutes. And he was quiet. And he said, so what is the point? I said, the point is I can help you. You can improve your drive-through by communicating more effectively in intercom with training, right training, and the people. And he said, son, we have a customer satisfaction program. I said, sir, with all due respect, it's not working. Here you go. This is the evidence. And he said, what do you offer? I said, this is what we're going to do. Give me the worst location in my area. Give me 4 weeks. If I fix it, I'll bring the number, the percentage above 80. You hire me for the whole year, and I go train all the locations. If I don't do it, then you don't owe me anything.
So you did it, basically ask for the job, like to do the work for free.
Yep. I said I'll work for free for 4 weeks. But if I prove it to you, I improve it, you're going to hire me. But this is going to stay between us because I want to go in there as a manager in trainee.
Oh.
And he said, no, you can't do that because all the manager in trainee, they have to go to our university, like the classes. I said, what? And I went through 9 weeks of classes to learn their concept, to learn their program, which is I did. I'm certified. Yeah, if I lose everything, I can go and work. But you know, I did that. And then the number 182, he called me, said, how did you do it?
So and I said, don't worry about it.
I said, sir, it's all about people. And I'm telling you, anybody who watches this or listen, if you're running a business, it doesn't matter what you do. It's all about your people. Your people can make you, break you. Make the story short, it was a great thing in my resume. I learned so much, and then I did it again with another company. But going back to the story of fear,
yeah,
I just opened that door and I went in there. If I wouldn't open that door, I wouldn't get all credit.
You just open the door.
Sometimes you gotta do it. And sometimes you don't know. You open the door, you might get shot. you never know, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Welcome to Texas.
Welcome to Texas. Everybody's got a gun.
Yeah, that's very true. I actually, same exact concept. I did that with calling. It's like, just call.
Yeah, you start dialing.
Just call.
What is the worst case scenario? You're gonna be at the same place as you were yesterday. Why are you waiting?
Yeah.
If you want to do something, just do it. You lose, you do it again. You fail, you do it again.
Just one last thing about fear. If you're afraid of something, most likely that's a sign that that's exactly what you should be doing.
Exactly. You're afraid of jump?
Yeah. So
you might break your leg anyway. But hey, that's the experience. That's the experience.
Yep. You want to close it up? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, folks. As Mirshad had mentioned at the beginning, if you like this episode, please share. You have questions for us or another guest or any subject that you want us to talk about, let us know and subscribe. Until next time.
See you next time.